Hello everyone, this is me Nisi from Spoil Me Nisi, back with another video. So today I'm going to be reviewing a new series on Netflix called Alice in Borderland. This series is based off of a manga series called Alice in Borderland. Um, I am not familiar with the manga series. I'm not an anime, a fan of anime or anything like that. I became interested in this series because of a trailer that I saw on Netflix. I thought the name sounded pretty cool, and when I saw the trailer, it was action, and I love action movies, and I do also like international movies. So I thought the mix together would be kind of dope. So the series came out today, and in typical me fashion, I binge watched it. Whenever a series comes out on Netflix, I'm not one of those people that can just watch one or two episodes and then just wait until a day or two later to watch another couple and so on and so forth. If the whole series is out, I'm binge watching it. That's just pretty much how I have to do it. So I was able to watch the whole series while I worked from home today and, did other stuff around the house. And I thought it was pretty cool. So just a brief summary of the series. The series is about 8 episodes long, and each episode is about 47-ish minutes. So it's about this kid named Arisu. Excuse me if I am pronouncing his name wrong. If you are a fan of the show and the manga series, I apologize if I butcher these names. Trying my hardest here. Okay. So Arisu, he's pretty much a gamer. His life is like all he does is game. I don't even think he has a job because at the beginning of the series, you see his brother trying to get him a job, and he's not interested. He just wants to play video games. So he ends up, leaving home because his family doesn't support his habit. They pretty much look down on him because of it. He and his, two best friends are together, just kind of having a good time, not really bothering anyone, but they do cause a car accident because they decide to, play in the middle of the street in Tokyo. They run and, they're running from the police, going to a bathroom stall, and then all of a sudden someone knocks on the door, all the lights go out, and everyone is just gone. Like, literally. No cars driving around, no people walking around, just gone. And Tokyo is kind of like Times Square in New York. There's always thousands of people walking around. Imagine all those people just vanishing. That's pretty much what happened in this episode. As the episode goes along, they have to join this game, and they meet these two girls, and they find out while they're playing the game that it's a life or death situation. Once they join the games, there's no turning back, you know. So I'm just gonna fast forward a little bit. They play a series of games. They meet different people while they're playing the games. They watch people get killed in the games. The sad thing is that Arisu, his two best friends, they actually end up getting killed, and he feels like he's responsible for it because, if he had given his life, it probably would have spared theirs. So he ends up having like this guilt, and he becomes like friends with this girl named Usagi, who's certainly a strong player in the game, and they just kind of, become partners in the game, and in all the games actually. And if you notice in the series, you'll hear like, different people say, I can't wait until things go back to normal. That's what everybody in these games want. And I don't know if I mentioned this already, but a lot of people vanished, but there were a lot of people left behind, and all the people who were left behind ended up playing these games. And all of them are just kind of playing, hoping that after they finish one game, everything will go back to another. But you'll notice in the series that it doesn't go back to normal. It just goes game for game for game. And the part that kind of resonated with me about how those people felt is if you look at nowadays, like 2020, everybody just wants things to go back to how they were before COVID, right? You constantly hear people say, oh, I want things to go back to normal. So that kind of hit home with me in the series, that every episode you hear someone say, I just want things to go back to normal. I just want things to go back to normal. And as you're watching the show, the series is taking you down this like rabbit hole to see like if things will ever go back to normal. But then you soon find out in the series that they're not, but we're not going to go there yet. You'll also hear people in like the first couple of episodes talking about this place called the beach. They say, oh, you just have to get to the beach, or I want to get back to the beach. So Arisu and Usagi, they make it to the beach, and they go there kind of forcefully. They end up getting like bags put over their heads, and they end up going there. And when they get there, they come across this guy that's known as the Hatter. And I thought that was really cool that they named the leader of the beach the Hatter, because if you're familiar with Alice in Wonderland, Alice comes across the Mad Hatter, and the Mad Hatter he's nice and all, he's nice to Alice, but he's crazy. That's why he's called the Mad Hatter. In this series, the Hatter is crazy because he has an idea for the greater good, what he's trying to do with the beach. But his idea is that he wants everyone to give him their cards. Now, your cards are like your trophies after the players win each game. And each game is based off of a card, like the game of hearts, spades, diamonds. After you beat a game, you want to hold on to your card, but he wants everyone that comes to the beach to give him their cards for like this greater good plan. And in exchange, he gives them a piece of paradise. They can have alcohol, they can get high, they can have sex, they can have a little taste of regular life, or maybe even a little bit better, while they're there at the beach. So Arisu and Usagi, they never got very comfortable, with that, but they were just kind of going through it with the flow. They also saw some people from previous games that were there as well. And that works in their benefit and also against them in some ways as well as the series goes on. So as we go on in the show, the Hatter has this counterpart called a Goonie, who's actually in charge of the military, and he's a little bit more hardcore than the Hatter. And in the end, he ends up killing the Hatter out of self-defense, and he ends up lying about it and forcefully taking over the beach. So come to find out, the beach, the place called the beach, actually ends up being a game itself. It becomes a game arena, and everyone goes on like this wild witch hunt. So being that Aguni is in charge, he decides, since they don't know who the witch is, he's going to just kill everybody. And that's literally what he tries to do. He tells his team to get out their guns and just kills everybody. And it becomes one big slaughter. It's very violent. Long story short, they find out who the witch is. Come to find out, she is a person who's like dead. The game itself was just kind of like a big mockery. It was like some big joke, and cost a lot of people their lives. So whoever's in charge of like these games and all of this stuff happening, whoever that person is, they are pretty gruesome and they have some pretty grotesque ideas. As you go along, that one game at the beach turns out to be, the final game, or at least they think that's the final game. And, Arisu finds this phone that was owned by someone. And the phone pretty much is like breadcrumbs leading to the people who are in charge. So Arisu and Usagi, go to find that place. They watch the video and they find the place, and come to find out, some other people that they found along the way, they found that place too. And they found out that the individuals in that room, while they are in charge of the games, they have bosses too. And their boss is like some really like crazy looking lady who reveals to them that the games are not over. The games have actually just begun. She kind of reminds me of like the queen. If you're familiar with Alice in Wonderland, you know, there's like this queen who's like really evil. And that's who like she reminds me of. So she lets them know that now they're going to start a series of games where they play for the face cards now that all the number cards are done. So, you know, Arisu pretty much says that now that they're going to be in the games, they're no longer playing against each other, but they're going to be playing against that queen. So that pretty much lets us know that there's going to be a sequel. So that's pretty much my review of the movie. There's a lot of stuff that I left out, but it's really hard to put 8, you know, hour long or 47-minute long episodes of information into a 15-minute video. So just my opinion of the series, I think it was pretty cool. It's not something that I would usually dive into. I'm not a fan of anime or any of that stuff, so I really didn't know what to expect when I watched this series, but now that I've watched it, the action was pretty good. It had suspense through the roof. But I did think that it was a little bit violent. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like some violent movies. But movies where it's like innocent people getting killed, those I don't really like. And in this series, a lot of innocent people got killed in very violent ways, and that kind of like bothered me a little bit while I was watching it. When I was about 2 episodes into the series, I was really going to turn it off. But that rabbit hole, that Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole, you know, they really did it with Alice in Borderland, because the whole movie, you want to know, when is it going to be over? Who's doing it? You know, who's the mastermind behind it? Is it alien abductions? Like, who is it? You know, so you kind of, you know, I ended up wanting to turn it off, but I didn't, because I went down the rabbit hole wanting to know, like, who, like, how all this happened, just to get to the end of the series and find out they're not going to reveal that. They're just going to reveal that the game's not over yet. So would I be interested in watching a sequel? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. But there aren't that many parts of a deck of cards. So I think when the series comes out and they get to the end of the face cards, I mean, where else can they go from there? Uno cards? I don't know. All in all, if you're a person who's a fan of like escape room or like the Saw movies, I do think that you would really enjoy Alice in Borderland, because all of the games kind of remind you of escape room, and then you'll see like a theme of sacrifice, or people sacrifice somebody else to win a game, and that kind of reminded me a lot of Saw. So if you like gore, a little bit of gore, a little bit of violence, you know, that Saw type of thing, then I do think that you should check this movie out. If you're like me, where you kind of have a sensitive stomach and, you know, you're not really a fan of that kind of stuff, then I don't know. Beware when you watch, I guess. So that's all. That's my review for this movie. As I've said in previous videos, I'll make like a couple of videos every week. So I'll be making another video this weekend. I'll be making a video about Power Book 2 Ghost. Of course, A Teacher, which those are my 2 favorite series right now. I'm going to make another review tomorrow or Saturday about something else, because I'm really excited and I have a lot of fun with this. So in the meantime, as you all know, I am new here, so show me some love, like and subscribe. And then for any of you that are fans of anime or the manga series of Alice in Borderland, leave comments and let me know what you thought of the series if you saw it. But until next time, bye.